all up and down the floor. Michigan State is looks like a Final Four team. Big Ten, by the way, I think has 5 teams in the top 25. Duke's going to win it, but Big Ten will be represented. But when shopping for car insurance, consider Geico. They've been doing it forever, 75 years. Pretty simple. Want to save money? Go to geico.com. We were saying that, one of the things that's always made LeBron great is not just that he's great, but there's never been a player in the NBA that has the impact of LeBron. I mean, Michael Jordan left the Bulls. They were still really good. LeBron goes to a bad team, they make the finals. He leaves that team, they're terrible. LeBron has impact. There's a big difference between being great and impact. There's a lot of people who are great. Kawhi Leonard's great. Toronto was good without him. San Antonio's still about the same without him. I don't think Kawhi has a huge impact, but I think he's a great player. Here's a guy that this year was on a terrible team that had amazing impact. John Gruden affected the outcome of 10 teams in the NFL this year. It's a force onto itself. It is the Gruden effect. So let's just think of the Gruden effect this year. So he moves Amari Cooper to the Dallas Cowboys. The Dallas Cowboys go 7-2 the minute they acquire him. Dak Prescott, by the way, is going to get that big fat contract because he's gone up offensively in every category. Huge effect not only to the Dallas Cowboys, but Dak Prescott has ensured himself he will be for the next 7 to 8 years the Dallas Cowboy franchise quarterback. Take a look at the Chicago Bears. Gruden trades Khalil Mack to them. The Bears have a top defense in the league because of it. And in fact, in the first game Khalil plays, he hurts Aaron Rodgers, which basically torpedoes the Green Bay Packers season. Aaron got hurt in the first game, wore a brace for several other games. Aaron Rodgers was never the same after that. So the Bears got better, won the division. The Packers are no longer the dominant force in their division due to the Gruden effect. So the Cowboys, the Bears, and the Green Bay Packers, you could put that Packer logo up there. Let's go to the Chargers and Chiefs. Because the Raiders got rid of Amari Cooper, and because they got rid of Khalil Mack, they're in a rebuilding mode. That allowed the Chiefs to go 2-0 against them, and that allowed the Chargers to go 2-0 against them. So Kansas City's now the number 1 seed in the AFC, and the Chargers have a great record as a wild card team, mostly because they got layups against the Raiders. How about the Patriots? The Patriots, with their record, could easily be the number 1 seed, but they lost the number 1 seed because Kansas City gained it. So Tom Brady, who's never been quite as dominant away from Foxborough, if he played in the AFC Championship against Andy Reid and the Chiefs, would be on the road where, Denver's always given him problems, never been quite the same on the road. How about the Steelers? The Raiders beat the Steelers in Week 14. Had the Steelers beaten the Raiders, they would be in the playoffs, and I would imagine the Antonio Brown situation would be different. It wouldn't be absolute mayhem. It wouldn't be every man for themselves. They'd be in a much better mood. There'd be less contentious because they'd have a game this week. But he knocked a legendary NFL iconic brand franchise Steelers out of the playoffs by upsetting them as a 10-point dog. How about the Ravens? They won the AFC North by a half game because John Gruden beat the Steelers. And also, just think about Baltimore. John Harbaugh, halfway through this season, was in trouble. He got an extension in the midst of the winning streak with Lamar Jackson. So Gruden, to a large degree, gave John Gruden a contract extension by beating the Steelers, lessening the division, and Baltimore goes on a streak. How about the Arizona Cardinals? Raiders finished 4-12, but that allows Arizona, because they beat the Steelers, Arizona now has the number 1 pick. So the Arizona Cardinals, it looked like before the season, you would have never guessed the Raiders have the number 1 pick with Khalil Mack and Amari Cooper and Derek Carr. They wouldn't have. But now the Arizona, when they got rid of that, open the door for Arizona now with Josh Rosen and a new staff. They're going to have the number 1 pick. And also, the Monday Night Football crew lost John Gruden and has arguably been the most criticized broadcast Monday night crew in a long time. Fair or not, right or not, they didn't get nearly the heat when John Gruden there. So it has affected one of the leading broadcast companies in America. That is a conclusion to the Gruden effect. He affected a lot of people.
It's very spooky.
By the way, here's, a couple of things in the NBA. LeBron. We introduced the LeBron meter, the LeBronzo meter, years ago when I started hearing rumors that LeBron was coming to L.A. with Lonzo. Right. And so we called it the LeBronzo meter. Now we have what we call the LeBrow meter. Anthony Davis is called the Brow. I heard about a month ago. I think it's a strong lead, Los Angeles. I will say this. Anthony Davis is doing it right. Right before the breakup, you drop hints. And a month ago, 3 weeks ago, Anthony Davis said, it's not about the money, and we know New Orleans can pay him the most. He goes, it's about legacy. That's one of those hints you drop before you break up because New Orleans can absolutely pay him the most money. And he said a few weeks ago, it's not about the money, it's about legacy. Well, you're going to win more with LeBron. And the second thing last night, he was great. 28 points, like 26 rebounds. It was just unbelievable last night. And he complained about being frustrated with playing that well and losing. Here's Anthony Davis last night.
Everyone's frustrated. Players, coaches, front office, we just got to do better. We know what we did last year. We know how good of a team we are this year, and we can't stay healthy. But we still got to go out there and improve it. So we just can't feel sorry for ourselves.
He's also making himself very attractive because Antonio Brown is breaking up the wrong way. He's having tantrums, missing games, going on Instagram. That's going to turn off a lot of teams. A lot of good teams will stay away from Antonio Brown. They don't want that toxic person in their locker room. Anthony Davis is breaking up the right way. Play your butt off, put up huge numbers, talk about wanting to win titles over getting money, and then saying, I'm frustrated because we're not winning enough, even on nights I go off. That is exactly what every coach and executive and owner in the league wants. So you're watching juxtaposed against each other. Antonio Brown, this is not how you create a divorce. Because what Antonio Brown of the Steelers does not understand is that you want to end up on a good team, right, with a good quarterback. Well, good teams with good quarterbacks are usually smart enough to draft a good quarterback. Who's going to eventually want to make a move with the Steelers? It's an awful organization with an awful quarterback thinking he can save the franchise. And so you're going to end up instead of going and playing with an Andrew Luck, instead of going and playing with a Patrick Mahomes or a Drew Brees, you'll end up going and playing with Blake Bortles or Tampa, who's desperate. And so you're watching right now a superstar in the NFL messing it up, which is it's about me, I want my money, I'm going on Instagram. And you're watching an NBA star do it the right way, which is it's about legacy. I was great last night, but we didn't win the game. Man, that's how you do it with Anthony Davis, and that is not how you do it. It's like in the NBA and the NFL. If you want out, just think of yourself in life. If you wanted out of a relationship, you don't throw pots and pans because nobody wants to date somebody who throws pots and pans. So, like these professional athletes, Anthony Davis is literally laying out exactly how you do it. Play your butt off. Talk about legacy, not money.
Also, just don't burn bridges on your way out.
Anthony will get criticized by the media because this is the way it works in the NBA. We always blame the star. But he is literally doing it the perfect way.
I don't know that he will get criticized so much.
You don't think so?
No. People want to see Anthony Davis win. He's a star, and he needs to be with an organization and in a situation where he can win, and that nobody believes that's going to happen with the Pelicans.
He's also from Kentucky, and Kentucky sometimes gives the NBA head cases. He's a great guy.
I don't know that he's necessarily the best fit for LeBron. I just think he is the only superstar available in this free agency situation.
Paul George would be a great fit with him because he's a catch and shoot guy.
Paul George not going to be there.
No, Paul George would have been a perfect guy, but Paul wanted to. Paul chose Westbrook over LeBron.
I think he chose money over LeBron.
Yeah. Car shopping's confusing. There's a lot of terms: dealer price, list price, invoice. Here's what's not confusing. Go to TrueCar.com, new or used. If you're looking to buy a car, new or used, TrueCar.com. Check out their true price, and you can save $3,000 on average off MSRP. Andrew Luck's secret weapon in 3 minutes. For our radio listeners, we'll see you tomorrow.